While you're watching this gameplay, pay attention to just how many supers I will be casting throughout the entire video. I can go on and tell you it is going to be an absurd amount, and this is just one of the many builds that this new Iron Banner armor set can produce. If you don't know, Iron Banner has come back around, and it does provide a brand new armor set with the 2-piece granting you increased handling and reload speed for primary weapons, and also some increased damage as well based on your weapon stat. Now, while that 2-piece is actually very good, especially with our exotic pairing with this build, the main part of this is going to come from the 4-piece. So final blows while your super is active will refund super energy when it ends. So with this 4-piece alone, you're essentially going to get around 30% of your super energy back every single time you come out of your super, depending on if you got enough kills. But the cool part about this is that it will actually stack with other exotics that also grant super energy back. So with this specific build, we are going to be running the Storm Dancer's Brace exotic, so we will actually get refunded super energy when our Stormtrance ends, which again will stack with the 4-piece, and you're going to get around 50 to 60% of your super energy back if you are getting enough kills. There are no diminishing returns when you actually pair these together. On top of that, Storm Dancer's Race does increase Stormtrance's damage when you're getting hits and final blows, which is nice. And then also while you're amplified, every single bit of ability damage will actually grant you Bolt Charge, which can play heavily into this build. So as you see from the gameplay so far, the whole point of this build is just to spam supers as much as possible. And one of the best weapons to pair with that is actually going to be Bad Juju. Bad Juju is an exotic, so every single kill you get will actually reload the magazine, and it will also increase damage for a short duration while also providing you extra super energy that can stack with the String of Curses perk. If you have the catalyst, it will actually extend the duration of String of Curses, but basically you can get a bunch of String of Curses, and the more you have, the more super energy you will get back on every single kill. So pairing that with the fact that your 4-piece set bonus and your exotic armor is already guaranteeing you 60% of your super energy back, the last 40% can get filled extremely quickly with Bad Juju. Now, if you want to run other weapons, you totally could. Bad Juju is not needed with this build. You still get a ton of super energy as it is with other things we're about to go over, but if you want the added little cherry on top, Bad Juju is such a good pairing with this because you will be able to just spam supers all the time. Now, when it comes to your subclass, you can honestly run either Arc or Prismatic. The reason I like to run Arc a little bit more is because it will be easier to get Bolt Charge stacks, but if you want to play more into a normal Prismatic DPS setup with say something like Stormtrance, you could absolutely do that as well. But in this video, I am going to be running things like Electrostatic Mon and Ionic Sentry. Ionic Sentry is nice because it can apply blinds, it counts as a grenade, it will kind of just sit there and build Bolt Charge stacks up for you as well. Pairing that with your exotic also being enough to do that, you can play heavy into Bolt Charge. Electrostatic Mon is going to make it so if we ever get ability kills or blinded or jolted kills, we can make Onyx Traces, though Onyx Traces will also make us amplify, which is also going to be a very massive part with this build. But on top of that, the Onyx Traces will also grant you ability energy, so you can spam abilities all the time. For grenade, I'm running the Storm Grenade, but you can run whatever you want to. For melee, I'm running Chain Lightning, but again, if you want to run Ball Lightning, you totally can do so. Healing Rift for survivability, and obviously we're going to be taking Stormtrance. But for the fragments, I like running Spark of Resistance so we can get some increased damages while we're surrounded, which is just very, very nice in general. Spark of Shock, so your Arc Grenade can jolt targets. We're going to be able to use our grenade a lot with this build. We want to get kills with that grenade all the time, so being able to jolt targets is also going to be very nice. And then Spark of Discharge, so Arc Weapon Final Blows can make an Onyx Trace. That's kind of whatever since we're running Bad Juju, but if you are running a Arc weapon, you can absolutely take advantage of that part of the fragment. But the main part is going to be whenever we collect an Onyx Trace, will actually grant you a stack of Bolt Charge. This is very strong for this build because with Electrostatic Mind, we'll be making a ton of Onyx Traces, which in return will give us more Bolt Charge stacks. We're going to get Bolt Charge stacks from our Onyx Sentry. We'll get Bolt Charge stacks from our exotic as well, so we can get to max Bolt Charge at all times to do a ton of damage with the Bolt Charge paired with our artifact. But then for the final fragment, it is going to be Spark of Frequency, so whenever we get a melee hit, we'll actually increase our weapon's reload and stability, which is cool. But if we're amplified, it will actually increase those benefits, and the main part is makes it so we will get increased stacks of Bolt Charge from all sources. So while we are amplified, all the Bolt Charge I was just mentioning is basically just getting doubled now, so we can just keep spamming Bolt Charges over and over again to do a ton of damage, heal us, and a bunch of other things paired with our artifact. Now, the artifact you're going to want to run with this is absolutely going to be the Tablet of Ruin, because you have things like Defibrillating Blast, so whenever you stun a champion, you'll get max stacks of Bolt Charge, and your Bolt Charge will jolt targets and heal you as well. That is very, very good. Just playing into some Act Clear, some extra damage, also for survivability. You can also take Dialectic, so whenever you defeat an Arc debuff target, blinded or jolted, you will actually get Bolt Charge as well. And then rapidly defeating Arc debuff targets will spawn Overpower and heal you. So again, you're going to be able to spam your grenade all the time, so your Storm Grenade can jolt targets with that fragment. This can heal you, this can make orbs. It is very, very strong. You can also pair that with things like Flashover, so when you have maximum Bolt Charge, you'll become amplified, so you're going to be amplified pretty much permanently with this build, and your Lightning Bolts do more damage, aka your Bolt Charge will do more damage. And then you can pair the fact that you're amplified all the the time with limit break. So when you cast a super when you're critically wounded or have an element buff matching your equipped super, aka Stormtrance, you'll actually get 15% more damage. So basically our super is just doing 15% more damage. It's doing even more damage because of all the bolt charge that we're discharging, and it is very, very good. To get your super even more often, you can take elemental siphon. So rapid final blows with kinetic weapons can actually make elemental pickups, aka onyx traces. So now your bad juju can make onyx traces, and when you pick the onyx traces up made from bad juju, you will actually get some extra super energy as well. So just another way to get even more super energy, which pairs extremely nice with bad juju because that already is providing you with more super energy. The final two fragments of this is just photonic flare. So if you defeat an exhausted or severed target with arc damage or make a blinding burst, this is just nice to have if things are just exhausted or severed. You're doing a lot of arc damage anyway. You could swap this out if you want something else. And then a gold from lead. So whenever you pick special ammo up, you have a chance to grant heavy ammo. Again, another one you can kind of swap out. We're not taking advantage of it too much because again, the main thing is just spam supers all the time, which is very easy to do with this specific setup. Now for stats with this build, you're definitely going to want to try to get to 200 super as much as possible, since that's kind of the whole theme of this build. With the 100 super, you'll be able to get the maximum amount of super energy gains possible. And I think the 4-piece of the Iron Banner set may scale with super, so you probably want to get that up just in case. But regardless, the more super you have, the more damage you can actually do with your super. So getting to 200 super is definitely very good with this build. I would highly recommend trying to get to 100 grenade as well, so you can spam your storm grenade all the time with all the onyx traces. The fact that you will be at 100 grenade as well, you'll be able to spam those 24/7. And then the rest of the stats are kind of up to you. If you want to play into class abilities, so you can spam what riffs you can. If you want to play into melee, you could totally do that as well. Even playing into weapons to get your bad juju to do a little bit more damage could also be very good too. The main thing is just focus heavily on super and try to get to at least 100 grenade and you'll be completely fine. Now for the armor mods, for the helmet, I like to run a kinetic siphon and double ash assets. With kinetic siphon, you can make orbs, which will play back into giving you armor charge, giving you more super energy. But then the double ash assets, you're going to be able to use your grenade a lot, and these will just grant you a ton of super energy whenever you are getting grenade kills, which is very, very nice. For the arms, I like running a momentum transfer and bolstering detonation, so whenever we cause damage with that grenade, we will actually get melee and class ability cooldown back. Since we could use our grenade all the time, this is extremely nice to have. And then we can also take grenade kickstart, so whenever we throw our grenade, when we have armor chart stacks, we'll actually be refunded some of our grenade energy as well. For the chest piece, I just run triple resist mods in pretty much every single build. You can swap these out for whatever content that you're doing. Then for the boots, I like running elemental charge, innervation, and absolution. With innervation and absolution, it makes it so whenever you pick an orb up, you will get grenade energy and energy for all of your abilities. So it kind of works like an onyx trace, just so you can spam grenades even more. But with elemental charge, whenever we pick up onyx traces, it will actually grant us armor charge as well. Now it's not every single onyx trace, it actually has like a counting mechanic, so the more you pick up, you will eventually get one. So this is a great way to get armor charge to play back into grenade kickstart to throw your grenade even more, since the onyx traces already grant you ability energy anyway. And then finally, the class item, I like running a powerful attraction, so I can use my class ability to pick all the orbs up, and then alongside that, a proximity ward distribution. So whenever I go for a finisher, I will be able to get a powerful overshield, and then if I use my class ability near targets, I can get some more energy for everything as well. But that's pretty much all for this build. As you've seen from the gameplay, the amount of supers you can spam with this build is absolutely ridiculous. I definitely thought there was going to be some sort of diminishing returns with the 4-piece pair with exotics that can give energy back, but it seems like either Bungie didn't care or maybe it was just looked over. I'm not 100% sure, but this will pair with a bunch of things. So if you'd like to see more videos going over other specific pairings, I can definitely make those as well. I'm thinking of things like Nova Bomb and maybe even some Hunter Supers pair with the exotic class item. It could be very, very good. Now on a final note, if you were curious about my transmog with the build, I will just throw it up on screen here. I was definitely going for a very demonic arc look. I think it fits with the theme of this build very well, and since you're going to be in third person all the time because you're in Stormtrance, you could actually see your transmog very, very often. So I definitely recommend getting a good look going on. Anyways, so that's going to do all for this build. If you have any questions, be sure to drop them down below. If you made it this far in the video and enjoyed, consider doing all the normal YouTube stuff. It is truly appreciated. And if you'd like a place to hang out with our community, be sure to join our Discord server. The invite link is in the top of the description. Anyways, so that's going to do it all for me. I want to thank you all so much for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Peace.